I gotta ask you, how real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing?
It was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
Really? This what we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, like, bro, come on. After the Roach fight, this is what we got next?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? It's your boy, Dr. Boxing Talk, back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. As you can see, at the Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano trilogy, you know, part 3, you know, even though Katie Taylor won the first 2, we're still having a third one because the fights are that good. But is it justified? Depends on how you look at it. But we know that it's going to be exciting, and the fact that it's on a it's headlining an all-women's card, you know what I'm saying, featured Alicia Bumgarner, Ellie Scotty, Sha Metcalf, and so many others, you know what I'm saying, Shay Metcalf, excuse me. You know, there's just a lot of great fights, man. So one time for the women. But in the midst of that, you know, it is the MVP promotions, you know, MVP production, excuse me, most valuable promotions production. And that is headlined by, you know, none other than Jake Paul, who is the CEO of that promotional company, you know, and that's dope, right? But in the middle of that, you know, because he's a fighter, bullshit, right? You know, he's a fighter, he's a boxer that doesn't box actual boxers, but still nonetheless he trains like a fighter, moves like a fighter, talks like a fighter, so we're gonna treat him like a fighter when appropriate, right? And you know, with that being said, there was a rumor, right, that he was gonna fight Canelo, and that fell through with the Turkey Al Sheikh deal that Canelo had, right? It's essentially Big Turk snatched Canelo from out of Jake Paul's grasp, right?
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
But who he didn't snatch was Gervonta Tank Davis, who's another star, right? So if you can't get the #1 star, the face of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez, where do you go? You go for #2 and #3, and that is Gervonta Tank Davis and Anthony Joshua. Well, he tried to get Anthony Joshua, right? But he said he's not really ready to commit to that, you know, because that's a real legit heavyweight, you know. Even though last time we saw him, he was face down, ass up. Compliments of Daniel Dubois. He's still a legitimate former champion heavyweight, you know what I'm saying, a superb athlete and a good fighter at that, right? We saw what he did for boxing when he had to go lay it down on Francis Ngannou. This is amazing, bro, and that's why shout out to Ngannou, man, being a man controlling his own destiny, man. I think him leaving the UFC was the best thing that he could have done for himself. Focus. Oh shit! Oh, right hand. A right straight, right down the pipe. Oh my gosh, hit him right in the mouth. Bow! Oh Lord! Anthony Joshua is tagging him, man. Just tagging him with a nice jab. Oh my gosh, not like this! Oh my gosh!
Not like this. Not like this.
His lip is bleeding? No, man. Come on, Ngannou. 38 seconds left in the second round. Anthony Joshua had to blitz him right now. I'd have blitzed him if I was. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my gosh! Oh. Yeah, that was crazy. So now he's gonna go to the other guy, Gervonta Tank Davis, and we heard about this, right? If Gervonta Tank Davis would have beat Lamont Roach, then we could have potentially had this fight up next. And I think this fight is trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Now, don't get me wrong. If it's an exhibition, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to knock it. Get your money, you know what I'm saying? I could never be a hater. I don't even know how that feels. But at the same time, I am a boxing fan, and I know what that feels from a boxing fan. It feels like trash. It feels terrible. I don't want to see Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. In fact, I don't want to see Jake Paul against anybody, I would say, under 160 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So if you're Janabek, I would say, yeah, Janabek or above, I'm cool. But if you're Janabek or, you know what? Maybe I'll say Terrence Bud Crawford, because he's such a great fighter. He's at 154, you know what I'm saying? He just got to 154, making his debut against Israel Madrimov last year. You know, I would entertain that fight. But anybody else, man, under that size, like, come on, man. Jake Paul just fought at heavyweight his last 2 fights. His 2 fights before that were at cruiserweight, you know, right under the heavyweight limit. It was that he was at 199. And, you know, it's like, bro, come on. That's a big guy. You know, he's 6'1". I think Gervonta Tank Davis is what, 5'4", 5'5".
Damn.
I'm sorry.
And he fights at 135 pounds. Now, Gervonta Davis, who's one of my favorite fighters, right? So Canelo Alvarez, my number one favorite fighter. Probably Gervonta Davis, and then Junto Nakatani. But you know me, and that's why y'all rock with me, because I keep it fair, I keep it unbiased, and I keep it funky. You know, we gonna keep it real around here, so it doesn't matter who I like or don't like. I never let that skew my objectivity. And I like Tank a lot, and hey man, this will be a big fight because, you know, Tank is a cash cow. And then Jake Paul, a lot of people will tune in to see him fight a legitimate fighter that's actually young and not geriatric 60 years old like Mike Tyson was, the iconic Mike Tyson. They want to see him fight a good fighter and see him lose, right? But Gervonta Davis is a great fighter, but he's still small, man. You can't make him for that stature, and they have divisions for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about him winning or losing. I don't care who wins or lose. I'm just saying it's a trash fight. I want to see Gervonta Davis, you know what I'm saying, go have unification fights or fight these contenders like William Zepeda, or go fight the IBF champion Lomachenko, or the WBC champion Shakur Stevenson, or the WBO champion and Keyshawn Davis, or whoever else in between. You know what I'm saying? There's so many other fights that I would prioritize over a Jake Paul fight. Now, on the flip side, if he wants to fight Jake Paul, of course, hey man, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if it's an exhibition that will happen during the intermission, you know what I'm saying, somewhere between fights, then that's cool. Like, for example, Lomachenko's out because of he has a medical exemption from the IBF due to his back, right? So if he fights Jake Paul in between having Lomachenko come back and then they have a fight, then I'm cool with that. But if you're just fighting Jake Paul just to be fighting Jake Paul, bro, come on, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing, man? You know, hey, get your money, and I understand, you know, I never knock anybody for getting that paper. You know what I'm saying? That's what, it's a business. Boxing is a business, and you should always seek the lucrative deals. You know, I can never demonize anybody for getting their money up. However, at the same time, don't make a mockery of the sport or my fandom. Gervonta Davis, you're a beast. I think you're a beast because of what you demonstrate in the ring and your skills. So with that comes a lot of expectations, man. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and I feel like you fighting Jake Paul, or Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis at this stage, unless it is a contingency plan in order to wait for the other champions to be free or some other strong contender to be free, then you're fighting Jake Paul as a side mission. I'm cool with that. But if you're just fighting Jake Paul just to fight Jake Paul, go ahead and retire, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and retire. That's just my opinion on it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Don't forget to smack that like button, but most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we are nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.